Thank you, Dr. Edwin. I'll now give a roadmap for the schools innovation competition. So we issued an expression of interest in Google form. And in here, we are asking you to tell us about your preparedness for the competition, including innovation ideas or description of your ongoing projects. And Alexander will take us through a deep dive of that form later. And Moses of KAWA, Uganda. I believe most of you are familiar with him, will take us through sample projects. We want to motivate the patrons from the schools that have not yet made a submission to do so, and we want this to run until Friday of this week. And in fact, eliciting more of your interest is the core reason why we organized this workshop. By mid next week, we want to have reviewed your submissions and given you feedback. We are not oblivious of the fact that the schools have different capacities and some are participating in such a competition for the first time. We want that not to be a hindrance. So in case you don't have an ICT club or you don't have any innovation ideas yet, we still believe that by the end of this workshop, you'll be in a better position to still make a submission. After we have selected the schools that will move ahead in the competition, we'll assign the mentors, and the mentors will work closely with all the teams through ideation, design, and implementation of the various innovations over the next 2 months. So we hope that by the end of March, the various teams will at least have a working prototype. We are not limiting the schools in the number of projects they can have. So feel free to make as many entries as possible. Much as we say that you should describe the innovation idea in 500 words, I think you should be able to put more words there so you can describe multiple ideas. And even when it comes to the actual implementation, when we work with the various teams, we can mentor various teams within the same school. Of course, part of our work will be identifying the best ideas of those that you have submitted. The plan is to have regional competitions in April, and the best projects will then be pitched in the National Innovation competition, which will be the grand pitch at the conference in May. That's basically it. That's the roadmap we have so far. We still have a few open questions which we'll answer through our interaction with you. For example, we have a small budget which we can use to fund modestly any requirements that you may need for your projects, but there is no blueprint for this. It will depend on your respective needs. I'll stop here for now, and feel free to give feedback in the chat and also later. I'll now hand over to Moses to give us motivation for projects. But before I hand over, I'd like to note that this is a collaborative effort. We'll be working with you. We have a team at Makerere University, we have the KAWA team, and then we have the UCUSAF team at UCC. All of us will be at hand to ensure that this innovation competition becomes a success. Moses, over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Cosmas, for the opening remarks. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Moses Wamanga. I work with KAWA. Dr. Cosmas, is it possible for me to share my screen? If you can allow me, please. Okay, if it is taking time, then I can just, okay. Just trying to share.
Moses, you should be able to share.
Yes.
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, that's very good. Thank you so much. All right, these are just ideas just to spur the innovation and to keep us thinking that we can be able to come up with different ideas that can work, that patrons, ICT teachers can work on with their students. So in this, I'm just going to talk about the new curriculum, and also a hint on a few SDGs, and also talk about the different programs. Now, about KAWA, KAWA is an organization which has been collaborating with the Ministry of Education, UCC, in supporting teachers in the integration of ICT in the teaching and learning process. So far, we are handling 53 secondary schools, and we are planning to make visits to different schools to continue launching the clubs. We give thanks to UCC and to say that for this collaboration. All right. So what we have done so far is there is a website for our collaboration. We shall be posting stories, success stories, testimonies. Each school will be catered for. We are improving on this website, creating a platform for every club to post all their innovations so that we can keep on seeing what's going on. We shall also allow them, for those who will be able to come up with their projects, we shall support them maybe for hosting and services like that. So there is a link down here. You can connect and you'll be able to reach it. That is the way to go. When it comes to these projects we are talking about at secondary school level, there is a push right now by the Ministry of Education and the National Curriculum Development Center basing on a new curriculum that whatever you teach in class must be turned into a project. That we take a lot of time studying skills and a little time practicing skills. So for us and for yourselves as ICT teachers, there is a lot that you teach these children right from senior 1 to senior 6. But after that, they copy notes and then they prepare for UNEB. So in this case, this is an opportunity for your departments to shine by turning what you teach into a project which solves the problem. So this is what is being emphasized as a learner-centered approach of teaching. In the new curriculum, we are given time. We teach up to maybe 230, 240. But from there onwards, students are supposed to go into projects. So these projects can be ICT rated, and you can connect with all subjects, and the children come up with a project which solves the problem. So that is the emphasis right now by the Ministry of Education, NCDC, and all partners. When you do the project, it is important to connect your project with the SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals. There are 17 of them. This is global because when you are doing your project, you are not simply targeting a project which remains at school. When you are pitching, you will be able to convince participants. Are you solving poverty? Are you solving hunger? Are you dealing with gender issues? Are you promoting education? Are you promoting affordable clean energy? So this gives us a foundation that whatever you are doing is within what is required by the world. You can also go as far as solving problems within your own community. But what I know is that all those problems are within these SDGs. There is a link there for you to go there and look at all these SDGs and see how you can connect. The emphasis is that we are not really saying you go direct to this, but you are solving a problem. Every solution you are coming up with should be able to solve a problem. All right, so these are some of the sample projects. It is important, there's a saying that start small. Think big, but start small. But there are also those who say, think big and start big. For most of our learners, it is important to give them challenges. Give a challenge and see what can be done. So we have shared this. It is not a must that you do what is here, but just to keep us thinking, share with your learners, give them challenges, and then see what can be done. So these are sample projects that we have proposed. You can work within these frameworks, but we are there to support. Some of your ideas can be, some of your students can create embedded systems. You can create mobile applications. You can create web-based applications. For schools which I've seen, some schools have done a lot in embedded systems, robotic, and many projects of that nature. But we are saying, let's go into it. Let's see how we can keep supporting, see that we keep our schools shining, we keep our learners an opportunity to rise beyond what they learn in class. So some of these embedded systems, you look at this in this presentation. I'm going to share the presentation, but the emphasis that you can use Arduino, you can use Raspberry Pis. Some of this through our collaboration with UCC, we shall also be able to provide a few items, but it is an opportunity that SEDAT is there. So we tend to benefit from all this. So you'll have some devices in your schools, and you'll be in a position for those who are able to create interactive locks. Some of these things are there, but you can improve. And through improving, we can also learn something new. Look at alarm systems. We can also focus on things to do with the smart gadgets. And many of this can be done. You pose a challenge to the learners. You may not learn, maybe you may not know much about programming, but pose it as a challenge. And when the challenge comes, we shall definitely find a solution. Look at things like all those things I'm talking about. So the embedded systems, this field has so many projects that can be implemented. So you can always check through, and you find what works for you, you'll be able to submit. When it comes to mobile applications, there are so many examples, of course, which you can do based on Android. You can do e-booking systems. We are saying this, so many people have done this, but you can also come up with your own, you can improve on what is there, but this keeps us learning more. You can go and search. We shall also keep supporting you to see that we keep doing the best. We can have an app which can be maybe helping us to look for lost property, find a lost cow, find a lost animal, anything that is lost. Those devices, we can use our devices to be able to do that. We have things like a wheelchair. Maybe you can come up with an application that can help people who are using wheelchair to identify where there are toilets, where there are services. So many of this can be done. We have image processing, CD sorting, all this can be done. Basically just going through quickly, but this presentation has been done, and I think yesterday I shared part of it, but for those who missed, I'm going to share it, and then we shall continue giving support. You also try your best to see that you move to the best level. There are many of them here, but what we are saying, you may not necessarily do what is here. You can come up with your own. You can think of a solution and be able to push it to the level. The other point to emphasize is that when you are doing a project-based is learner-centered. You must involve learners from day one. And this is where you'll see critical thinking at play. You'll see collaboration. You'll see learners thinking problem solving. You'll see creativity coming up when you pose this as a question and learners will work out as a group. You may just work as a facilitator, but learners will be able to do it. The good thing is that a number of schools may be having access to the internet, but we shall continue supporting. When we come to school, we shall also bring you some videos which we are working on to see that you are in a position to deliver. Finally, I end with this quote from Mwikirize: "You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So ensure that you submit the project." That will be stage one of elimination. If you don't submit, then you'll not be there. So I'm sure there'll be some questions. I'll respond them during the Q&A session. And I thank you for your attention. May God bless you. Over to you, Dr. Cosmas.
Thank you, Moses, for that rich presentation.